Oh, I'm in Australia, struggling still.
Oh, um, should we mute to?
Yeah, you can do that. I just wanted to wait. Who's just saying how do you find me on your iPad, on your Facebook page? Why can't I search for you? Oh, shit.
Okay, my sound is on, is yours on? Do we have sound though? We should test it. You watching it? Do me a favor. Is your cell phone volume up on? Like cut it up a little bit. Do it a little bit just to make sure you get sound from us. It's going to be on it's on a slight delay.
3, 2, 1.
I just want to make sure we got sound. Hi everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining. I'm so excited about today's class. I just want to make sure we have sound. So if you could hear me, do me a favor and type something in the comment section just to make sure we have sound so we are good to go. Because I don't want to get through all of this and then got to start over because you can't hear me. You know what I mean? Do we have any? We got sound? Okay, cool. All right, let's get started. All right, so we're going to start off today with our Thanksgiving remix. I'm so excited about all these recipes. Listen, these recipes, you can find them at DariusCooks.com. Yeah, you can turn my volume down. There you go. You can find all the recipes at DariusCooks.com. They're all going to be there, so don't worry about it. We have a lot to cover in this hour, so we're going to get started and make sure we try to get through everything. All right, first things first, I really want to start on the sauce, right, that we're going to use for this amazing pasta dish, right? So I'm taking something that I kind of actually really enjoy, and that's collard greens and smoked turkey, all right? So if you are, you know, from the South or you from any sort of, let's see, African-American descent, you know exactly what collard greens and smoked turkey is, all right? So I'm going to start it and put it into a pasta that's going to be really good, all right? So I got a pan here. I'm going to get sort of a medium high heat, all right? Into this, I've got some really great olive oil, right? Some fruity olive oil that I'm going to throw in a couple tablespoons just to lube the pan and get everything going, right? Now, let me show you what I've done while our oil is heating up. I went ahead earlier and I went ahead and I boiled off some smoked turkey. Now, this is a smoked turkey leg. You can see it's the full leg, and I boiled them off. I made some collard greens with these, and I just went in and took that good meat, okay? The good meat off of the smoked turkey, and I chopped it up. We're going to use that as bacon, if you will, for our dish. All right, so listen, our oil is looking pretty good, all right? Not too high. I got some shallots here that I'm going to throw right into the pan, okay? Along with my shallots, I'm going to throw in some garlic, right? A little bit of both. And then listen, this is that smoked turkey I was telling you about, right? All I did was chopped it up after I boiled it down because it's going to serve as the base for this amazing pasta dish, all right? So you're just going to get in here, give it a toss. Now listen, I don't know where you get your smoked turkey from, but where I get mine from, it doesn't come seasoned. So I'm going to add in a little bit of salt, right? And then a little bit of fresh cracked pepper right into there. And I'm going to let this do its thing for a little bit. It needs a little bit of time for all the flavors to get married and to get a chance to know each other. So we'll let this go while I get started on the sangria for today. Look at this, all right? That's going to be good. Come on. Now, you already know that looks fantastic. All right, let's talk about this sangria, all right? So up front right here, I've got some Grape Kool-Aid, okay? Now, I happen to love Kool-Aid. It is something that I grew up having. I think, you know, everybody's big mama had a pitcher of Kool-Aid in the house. And anytime you get a chance to do things like this where you can sort of take the flavors you grew up on eating and sort of introduce them in brand new ways, I am a fan and a proponent, all right? So I've got some Grape Kool-Aid already made, and you can make the Grape Kool-Aid sort of as sweet as you like it. You know your temperament, all right, for your Kool-Aid. Now listen, we're gonna spike it a little bit, okay? A little bit. I'm gonna throw in a little bit of Bacardi Limon because I think citrus goes well with our sangria. Now you put as little or let's see, as much as you like in there, all right? Because you really want to taste that sort of acidic note in our Kool-Aid. So I'm giving this a stir. All right. Now I've got two types of wine. I've got a white wine I'm going to throw in. All right. Uh-oh, be careful. Get it inside there. So I'm going to do a white wine. And listen, any white wine works, okay? Don't feel like you got to go out and break the bank on the wines. Don't feel like that, okay? Because you could use any sort of medium price. Now, what you want to use is a decent quality. Don't go get one of those, you know, $2, $3 white wines. That won't do you any good, right? But a nice $7, $8 bottle is some really great quality wines. And you could use sort of any white wine you like, a Chardonnay, a Sauvignon Blanc, a Chenin Blanc, they all work, all right? I'm also giving me a little bit of insurance policy with some red wine here. I get a little bit of Merlot happening in there, all right? And I'm just gonna squeeze in some limes just for that really great citrusy overtone in our sangria, all right? Now, in the freezer, I'm gonna add in some ice, but what ice tends to do is ice tends to water down the sangria. Right? We don't really want that a whole lot. So I have a solution. In our freezer, I got some frozen grapes that we're gonna throw in, okay? Remember, this is a grape Kool-Aid sangria. So instead of using our ice, I'm gonna use our frozen grapes. It's gonna keep everything nice and cold. It's gonna add nice flavor. And it's not going to water down the sangria, all right? Let's get in here and give this a stir. Now, does that look good? Or does that look good, all right? Now, I am going to put a little bit of ice in my glass. That I'm going to do. So let me grab some ice out the freezer, all right? And let's taste the sangria. Look at that. Let me tell you something. This is outstanding. You remember grandma's house, even your mother's house. She would always have a pitcher, those plastic pitchers with the white top on, and it was the Kool-Aid pitcher. When you drink this, it transports you back. To that moment in time. Listen, that is fantastic. Let's get back to our pasta, all right? Look at this. Our pasta looks really good. The sauce, we're building the sauce and we're starting with the layers of flavor. So this is the garlic. I put in the shallot and I went ahead and put in the smoked turkey that we're just crisping up, okay? Now, to this, I've got those collard greens that I went ahead and cooked off earlier. I'm gonna throw the collard greens right in here, okay? Give this a quick stir. Now this needs a little bit more liquid. So you say to yourself, okay, you could use a little bit of chicken stock. You could use something that has a little flavor, but guess what I got? I reserved some of the liquid that we braised our collard greens in. Now there is a recipe on DariusCooks.com for my spicy braised collard greens. So you can certainly, I'm gonna jack the heat up on this, all right? So you can certainly go ahead and follow that recipe, and this will get you pretty much where we are with this right here, all right? So I'm gonna give this a stir, just like this, all right? And this is doing great things. All right, let's talk about a white sauce, okay? Because we need to build a white sauce for several things. We're gonna use the white sauce for that mac and cheese pie with the lobster and the bacon. We're gonna do it for that. But also we gotta talk about the green bean casserole bread pudding. We gotta do the white sauce for both of those. So I've got some done, but I'm gonna show you basically how we do the white sauce, okay? Because some people say, well, you know, I don't know how to do it. And I'm like, listen, that's what I'm here for, all right? Food is my life. It's my food, all right? So I got a nice pot, right? A sauce pot. And I'm gonna go ahead and load in some butter, right? Right into there, right? I'm gonna let the butter sort of melt up a little bit and get nice and melty, right? And then to this, the idea is to add in flour. So I'm adding in equal parts of our butter and equal parts of our flour. Now, flour has that sort of raw taste to it, That's not really what we want to have here. So the idea is going to be to stir this, and then to cook out that floury taste, all right? So I'm just going to get in here and cook this, and I'm going to stir this, right? And this is the point where if you follow me for any length of time, we have to do sip, and we have to stir. All right, so I'm going to sip and stir. Now listen, don't walk away from this. This is not the time to call the kids. It's not the time to be on the phone, you know, catching up on what happened during the week. This is really important because you don't want to burn this at all. You want to stir it. And let me show you how it's going to look, right? As you stir, you're going to get something that looks like this, right? So it's just what we call a roux, right? It's R-O-U-X. And you're basically just stirring in equal parts flour and butter. That's it, right? Because that's going to serve as the thickening agent for the sauce for our mac and cheese, thickening agent for the sauce that we're going to also use for our bread pudding. So let me get a stir and a sip. And at this point, you want to add in, you know, your dairy product. So I'm going to add in some milk. You can add in half and half at this point. You can do milk and cream. So you add in your milk, just like that. And you let that come to a boil. And as soon as it boils, it's going to thicken up, right? So I'm just going to stir. And I'm going to do double duty. So I'm going to be here with the pasta sauce, and I'm going to stir, all right? Speaking of pasta sauce, let's go ahead and add in our pasta. Because listen, this is just about ready, all right? So I went ahead and used some rigatoni that I just cooked off in salted water earlier. Look at that. And I'm just going to stir this in, okay? I'm going to add a little bit of cream to our pasta sauce. Look at this. I got a straggler. Get in there. A little bit of cream, okay, to our sauce, just like that. Okay, not a lot, just to sort of bind it together. And let's see if we can get in here and toss this together without making a huge mess of our pasta sauce. Look at this. Look at this. This is smoked turkey and collard greens with this penne pasta and this amazing sauce. Now, I don't know about you, but whenever I used to eat collard greens growing up, we always used to put a little bit of hot sauce, right into our collard greens. So I'm gonna throw a little bit of red pepper flake in here for a little bit of heat. But this is absolutely astounding. All right, we're gonna top this with just a little bit of shaved Parmesan cheese. And this is ready to go, all right? Ready to go. Let's put a little bit of heat right in here, just like that. A little bit of heat. As spicy as you like it. And let me plate some up. Let me get a plate and let me show you what we're working with, all right? Let's go here. Move our wine out the way. And here we go. Oh, that's hot. Here we go. Show you this. Look at this. This rigatoni with the collard greens. Oh, it smells so good. Certainly reminds me of what we used to eat growing up. And it's a really great take on the classics, all right? I got a fork and I got a little shaved parm that I'm just gonna throw right on top, just like that. This is real cooking, y'all, okay? This is Darius Cooks. .com. All right, let's get in here and let's go for a little taste. All right, this was real simple too. You know, you can certainly do this with leftover collard greens. How many times do you make a pot of collard greens? You got a little bit left over. Here's a new way to introduce those leftovers and turn those into a fantastic meal, okay? It's hot. Come on. Come on. Smoky, salty, savory. That little bit of heat makes it all work. This is so good. One more bite. You gotta try this. You do. It's so good. Okay. We gotta move on. But that is delicious. Okay. Boy, is that good. All right, let's talk a little bit about our bechamel. See, you continue to stir, 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 and then what you end up with is something that looks like this for our finished product, all right? This is that bechamel sauce, right? So really, it's the flour and the butter that we cooked out. Then we went ahead and added in some milk, heavy cream, and you get this wonderful sauce. Now, we seasoned this sauce with a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper, but that's pretty much it, right? That's the base that we're gonna use for most of cheese and also with that green bean casserole. So let's talk about the green bean casserole, okay? Let's get to that part. Why don't we? Look at what I've got here. I've got some green beans that we just went ahead and blanched off. You can certainly use the fresh green beans if you like, or the frozen. Stay away from the canned, all right? Canned, not so much on this one, okay? Too much water that's in there. And, you know, I'm not really a fan of the can just because of the way they preserve it. It's got too many chemicals, all right? So you can certainly go and use your fresh or your frozen on that, all right? Now what I'm doing is I'm just gonna shred up a little bit of Gouda cheese because I feel like you need a little binder or a little surprise as you bite into the bread pudding that makes you go, okay, hello, that was good, you know? So to that, I'm gonna add in our cheese, right? Now I've also got some bacon in here that I also wanna get into the action. So let me just scrape up our cheese. And it's just regular bacon, right? The thick cut stuff or the regular stuff, it doesn't matter. Now watch this. You just crumble, just like that. Okay. So we got bacon, we got green bean, and let me give my hands a wash. And I'm gonna show you what we're gonna use for the bread. I'm so excited because some people are thinking like, oh, bread pudding, like, I'm not really a fan of bread pudding, but let me tell you something, okay? You will be a fan of this bread pudding because I'm using a super special buttery ingredient straight from the bakery. I'm using buttery croissants as the bread for our bread pudding. I know, it's like genius. I know it is, right? So let's get in here and let's cut these up. All right, after I take another sip of our sangria. It's so good. Listen, and I'm being so rude because I have people who are here with me. So let me pour her a little glass and see if she likes it. Here you go. All right, let's get to our, you're welcome. Let's get to our bread pudding. How is that? Oh. Is that good? This is good. Nice little kick to it, right? All right, let's get it cracking. All right, so I've got croissants here. Now, croissants are gonna be a really great vessel, a really great instrument for this because they're buttery already, they're unctuous, they're delicious. You know, you can certainly go for the day-old croissants or 2 days old. It's good, right? Because this is gonna get infused with that wonderful white sauce that we just did. So we're looking really good with where this is going right now. All right. Now listen.
We have a question.
We got a question. What's up? What's the question?
Danny Dahl missed it. What kind of cheese did you use?
I just used Gouda cheese, Danny. But let me tell you the reason why I used Gouda cheese. And I'm serious about this. I'm dead serious. I use Gouda cheese because it was on sale, okay? That's why I used it. So you don't have to get any fancy cheese. Get what's on sale. Gouda happened to be on sale, so I picked up Gouda. But any sort of really great cheese, a Fontina would work, a Gruyere, any one of those cheeses, you're all good. Look at this, all right? This is doing some really, really great stuff. Let me grab a spoon because I want to get this all combined, right? And put together. Now here's some of that white sauce. Look at this. That we're gonna throw right on top of there. Okay. Hello, somebody. Now the white sauce already has the salt and the pepper in there, so we're good on flavor. We got the bacon happening throughout there. We got that Gouda cheese, so we're gonna get great flavor all over the place. All right, give this a stir. And remember, this is gonna be at DariusCooks.com. So if you get a little foggy on what we're doing, no need to worry about it. I will make sure I post the recipe for you guys at DariusCooks.com. All right, look at this. Hello. Have you ever seen anything so beautiful? Look at that. This is a savory bread pudding with all the flavors of your green bean casserole. All right. Now I've got a dish. This is going to go into our oven's preheated 350 degrees. So let's see if I can get everything in here without making a complete mess. All right. Look at that. Look at that. Hello, somebody. Okay. Woo! I am excited.
Jesus is Lord.
I am excited. Okay. Now listen. Whenever you have your traditional green bean casserole, there's normally something on top. Okay. The question is, what's normally on top? Those lovely French fried onions. So we're going to do the exact same thing here. We're going to put on some French fried onions. Just like that. Okay. And again, our oven's preheated 350 degrees. And this goes right off into the oven to bake up until it is wonderful and golden brown. Okay. Look at that. All right. Oven. We're good to go with this one. All right. Now, I got a little bit more bechamel sauce left. And around here, we don't throw away bechamel sauce. We find another use for it. And our use for it is going to be our macaroni and cheese with lobster and bacon. Okay? Look at what I've got here. I got a whole lot of stuff going on that I want to walk you through and show you what we're going to be doing. So I've got some I made a little earlier, right? I'm just going to crunch up some of the bacon. And let me throw in a little bit more pasta into this. So I went ahead and cooked off some elbow pasta. Go ahead. What's the question?
What's the oven temperature?
The oven is at 350 degrees. Like 350 is like always like the magic number. Do you know what I mean? So 350 is good because you'll cook everything the way it needs to be cooked. You'll cook it all the way through and you'll be all good. All right. Here's a little bit more pasta so we get a full pie. All right. And I'm going to throw in some cheese right into this. Now I am using a processed American cheese product just because it is very, very tasty. They're not paying me, so I can't say who it is. But I'm going to throw that in. Okay. Just like that. So I've got the bacon in there. I've got our pasta. I've got a combo of cheeses. Now listen, I use, again, mostly whatever's on sale. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to go break the bank. I think you should definitely put a little cheddar in there, right? I don't think macaroni and cheese is really macaroni and cheese unless you got a little cheddar action happening. So that's super important. And to that, let's talk about the star of the show. Okay, look at this. I've got these amazing lobster tails. Oh boy, that we're going to throw in to our dish. And it's going to be fantastic. Now, this is the way we do this, right? You want to get in here, and we're going to crack it on both sides. So we're going to try to give it a crack here on the top, right? Sharp knife. And then come here on the other side and another crack. And then we should be able to pull away. Look at that. The shells, right? Same deal on this one, right? So we're gonna give it a crack.
We have a question about the pudding.
Go ahead.
How long to cook on? Until bubbling and golden brown on top?
That's it, until it's bubbling and golden brown. That's how long you wanna cook it for. All right, so I'm gonna pull the shells out of this. Now we've got this amazing lobster meat that we're gonna go ahead and use. Look at this. So I'm just gonna give this a nice cut, nice rough chop. And I'm gonna get this right in. Now, you could certainly omit this if you're not into a seafood situation. I don't know why, because it's so good, but you could omit this, or if you want to swap this out for other types of seafood, you certainly can. On DariusCooks.com, there is a recipe for a shrimp and bacon mac and cheese. It follows the same logic, right? So here's a lobster. We're gonna get that right in.
We have 2 questions.
Go ahead.
I don't like lobster. Can you use crab instead?
You can certainly use crab. Oh my God, I think crab would be amazing in this. I think crab is a really great substitution if you're not into lobster. So absolutely, you can use crab. What's the other question?
What cheese do you not recommend?
What cheese do I not recommend? You can put it on me. The cheese that I don't recommend is the one that's not on sale. No, really, it doesn't really matter, right? As long as I think cheddar is sort of in there and some of that American cheese product, I think whatever cheese you find will totally work, right? And listen, if you ever get a little foggy on how to do this, again, there is a video right now that has about 35,000 views at DariusCooks.com and on my YouTube channel on how to make the ultimate mac and cheese. So you can certainly follow along there. All right. So one of my secret ingredients, it's not really secret anymore, is going to be some sour cream that we're going to toss into this as well. All right. It's going to add an extra layer of zip, a little bit of tang. It's going to keep everything nice and moist and harmonious. And we like that. We like that in a mac and cheese. Okay. So let's finish this and get this show on the road. Here's that bechamel sauce, right? That we're going to put right in here. Oh boy. All right. Not while I'm pouring. All right. So we're going to get in here and give this a stir. Be careful. Try to get everything super incorporated. That lobster, the cheese, the sour cream, and the bechamel sauce. Oh, and the bacon's down there. Don't forget the bacon. See,
Another question.
that's fine. What's the next
I'm
question?
allergic to seafood. Can I use chicken?
Oh, that's a good one. Absolutely. Chicken would totally work in this, right? Chicken would be a really great deal. I think you want to just get some chicken breast and either grill it up or cook it off first. And you could totally throw some chicken right into here. All right. Now, what makes this a lobster and bacon mac and cheese pie is the pie crust, right? So I did, do a little bit of a store-bought shortcut here. And I am going to be using a store-bought pie crust. But listen, there's so much homemade goodness going on right up in here that it's actually okay, okay? So here we go. Let's get as much as we can. Obviously, I have enough here for 8 whole pies, but get this right into a pie crust, okay? With that lobster, okay? And the bechamel and the cheese. Oh boy. All right, and you can pile it as high as you can, as high as you like. And this will do a little bit of a bubble over in the oven. So you really want to be careful and put this on top of something. So I've got a tart pan that I'm going to put it on top of. Just like that. And remember, we have a little bit extra cheese going on. So I'm going to top it with the cheese just like that. All right, just like this. Okay. Now, I'm going to get that off into the oven because that needs to do some oven goodness, some good stuff. All right, and let's do a little bit of swap out, a little bit of switcheroo. I'm gonna get a cast iron skillet on, right, and get some heat going from a cast iron skillet. And I got some oil. Oh, here it goes. I got some oil because we're gonna talk about this chicken fried turkey situation in 1 second. All right, so put a little bit of oil into a cast iron skillet.
All right, Gary, we got a few questions here.
All right, let's go. We got questions. I got answers.
We are loving the mac and cheese. Now, what brand of pie crust did you purchase?
Whatever's on sale is the pie crust that I purchased. I'm not lying to you. It was the store-bought, store-brand pie crust.
Okay. What,
It was on sale.
Pre-cooked meat work, or would it come out overcooked?
Pre-cooked meat. No, because listen, everything really is cooked. All right, the pasta doesn't take a long time to cook at all. Everything in here is already cooked, so you can certainly do your pre-cooked because you just want to heat everything through, get everything married really well, all the flavors developed, and you're all good. So sure, pre-cooked meat is a definite plus there. What else we got?
What kind of oil did you use?
Oh, this was the oil that was on sale. Is the one that I used. It was I don't know what it is. Is it a vegetable oil? Canola. It's a canola oil, and I'm only using it again because it was on sale. But in this for frying, canola, peanut, vegetable, corn, any of those, they're going to work well for you. All right. All right. So let's talk about a little bit of turkey, right? Chicken fried turkey, because when you have Thanksgiving, you always have typically turkey dressing, turkey and cornbread. So I got a really great play on this. So I got some turkey right here that we've just got cut up. We got it sliced and cut down to size. Okay. And I'm going to make a little bit of a seasoning to go with that turkey. So the first thing is a little bit of sazon, right? Because I love this stuff. It has that annatto and the achiote going on. It's going to be really good. All right. To that, I got a little bit of chili powder that's going to go in, right? Going to add a really nice floral note, a little bit of spice, a little kick. All right. Some red pepper flakes. All right. To that, I got a little bit of granulated garlic that I'm also going to throw in here as well. Okay. And then to make everything sing and come together, I got a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper that's going to go in as well. So here's some salt, maybe a little bit more of that. And then we've got pepper. Now, I also want to add one other sort of layer of flavor to our turkey before we even get started. So I'm going to go ahead and toss in your favorite brand of hot sauce right into it, just like that. Before it's even cooked, I'm going to do a little bit of hot sauce and a little bit of buttermilk because it's going to help everything sort of adhere, and it's going to add great flavor to our turkey. It's going to be really, really good. All right. So let me grab the buttermilk out of the fridge. And in goes the buttermilk. Okay, just a little bit, just to moisten it up. And the spice mixture that we just made up, here we go. Right on top, just like that. And get in here with your clean hands and massage the flavor into your turkey, okay? Just like that. This is gonna be so, so good. This is a total do-ahead situation. You know, if you want to do this yesterday, by all means, you certainly could. If you want to do it the day before and let it sit up, you can certainly do that. Or if you're doing what we're doing and do it the day of, it works as well. All right. To that, we got to get some flour into the situation, right? Because now it's time to make the dredge. So I'm going to toss flour right into here, just like this. And that's it. All right. Let this hang out for a little bit. Let our oil get nice and heated through. I want this to get really coated well, right? And these are going to be really, really quick cooking because they're cut so thin. This is going to be good.
We have some questions. Are these turkey cutlets or turkey chops?
These are turkey cutlets from the breast of the turkey. However, this process could work with the turkey chops or with the turkey breast, the turkey cutlets.
The other question is, people are loving the mac and cheese pie. How long do you have it in the oven?
Until it's golden brown and delicious, which at this point should take probably about 20 minutes to finish up. What other questions? Anything else? All right, cool. So listen, our oil is looking really good. I'm just giving my hands a wash, right? Because I'm dealing with poultry, so you want to be very careful. Let me dry them off real quick. And our oil is doing really great oil things over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the chicken.
Could you use sriracha?
Oh yeah, sriracha. Absolutely, you could use sriracha in this, right? You don't have to do what I'm doing. You can certainly use sriracha. Yes, go for it. All right, look at that. Right into our oil. It's nice and hot. All right, don't crowd the pan. Well, I guess we'll do these in 2 batches, right? Because I also want to show you our cornbread that we're going to make right now as well. All right, so let's do the cornbread while we're waiting on our turkey to fry up, all right? So you could certainly go with the blue box, okay? You can do that. But if you've ever made this cornbread, you know this is the recipe you want to definitely go with, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and crack in here 2 eggs. It's a really simple, foolproof recipe that you really cannot mess up, all right? I'm cracking in 2 eggs. I'm going to do in a pinch of salt, just like that, all right? I've got some cornmeal, all right? So the idea is to do a cup of cornmeal. So that's about a cup, right? A cup of flour and a cup of sugar, because I like my cornmeal or my cornbread to be a little on the sweet side, right? So a little bit of sugar, right? And then a cup of our flour. Look at that. How simple was that? All right. Now you do need an agent to help this rise. So I do have some baking powder that I'm going to throw in. 1.5 tablespoons is all you need. Right on top like that. And then I've got some melted butter that we're going to throw in here as well. But before we throw the melted butter in, I'm a little parched. So I'm going to take just another sip of our sangria. Ooh. So good. So fresh. So amazing. Here's the butter. All right. So I'm going to put in about half of this. That's all you need. And then I'm going for a consistency that's, you know, like like a pancake batter, right? So let me grab the milk, because our milk's going to go in. Here we go. Here's our milk. And this is it. We've got cornbread, guys. Like, it's that simple. Like, you don't have to use the blue box anymore. Delicious, fantastic cornbread from scratch. Now, what's great about this is we're going to turn this cornbread into waffles. All right, so.
We have a question.
Sure.
How do you know when the oil is hot enough?
You know when the oil is hot enough. If you've got a thermometer, you want to go for about the 360-degree range. If not, you stick a little bit of flour into the oil, and when the flour bubbles up, you know it's ready to go. All right, speaking of ready to go, let's turn over our turkey. Oh boy, look at that. Hello. Oh, that's gonna be good. That is gonna be really good. Now remember, I'm using the turkey cutlet, but if you've got access to those turkey chops, you can certainly use those. Those are gonna be really good in this. Listen, even if you're not really into the whole turkey situation, chicken works as well. You can certainly go that route too, all right? Now, I got my waffle maker sitting right here in front of us, and it's all ready to go, all right? So I got a little bit of oil I want to spray so nothing sticks, okay? And we're going to turn this cornbread batter into waffles. Are you guys ready? Here we go. Here's some of the batter. You don't want to overstuff it. And we're going to go right in the middle. Maybe a little bit more. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and close it. Okay, and let it do its thing. All right. Meanwhile, look at our turkey. Oh yeah, this is good, right? Our turkey's actually ready to come out. So let's grab some paper towels. And let's put a turkey right on top of our paper towel. And let's get the second batch in to cook up. Look at that. And these are so thin. Look how quick they cook up, okay? Those are perfect. All right, let's throw the other two in. All right, we got 4 total. So let me throw another one in. And then here's the last one is gonna go in as well. All right, so our turkey's in, all right? We got waffles happening. We got turkey happening. Cornbread, waffles, and then turkey. We need something to throw this all together. Like, you need a sauce, right? Like a sauce, something that has a little bit of sweet to it. Something that really sort of wakes up the palate and everything really goes together so well. So what I've done is I went ahead and I took some cranberries and I put a little sugar and our cranberries and cooked it in a little bit of orange juice just until everything sort of came together, right? That's gonna be our sauce. I'm gonna just go ahead and take the zest of an orange that has all of those essential oils. And you don't want to go too deep on this, right? On the orange. Just go right on top. That's going to give you really great flavor. And if you've never had cranberry and orange together, you're really doing yourself a disservice because the combo of those two together is just simply amazing. There's nothing better. Okay, so I'm going to give this a stir and let this sort of hang out until everything's ready. And we can put everything together, okay? Meanwhile, let's get a little bit more sip going on from our sangria, and then we'll focus on our dessert. Let's pour a little bit more here. And I can't forget L'Oreal, so let me give her a little bit. There we go. All right, sangria, everybody's happy. Let's check on our chicken real quick. It's doing great things, all right? Everything's looking really, really good. In the meantime, looks like our waffle is happening, all right? It says that it's ready. So let's grab that waffle, and then I'm gonna make some fresh whipped cream to start on our dessert, all right? Look at that. Okay, we have a cornbread waffle that we made. Oh boy, be careful so you don't tear it. I'm gonna tear it up. Oh gosh, it's super hot too, hot and fluffy. Woo! Okay, so there's our cornbread waffle. I'm actually going to do another one because I want to layer this on top. So let's do one more waffle, and then let's go ahead and finish up and get our whipped cream and our desserts popping. Okay. Here's the batter. Right in just like that. All right, and let's close it down. All right, and we're good to go with that. All right, cool. So, look at our chicken. Look at our turkey that's frying up. That looks, oh gosh, that looks so good. Everything's cooking up well. It's ready to go. And we're doing really great things, all right? So before we finish up everything and plate and taste, let's work on the desserts real quick, all right? I'm gonna drop in some heavy cream. Just like this. I'm gonna make whipped cream for you guys from scratch, all right? So there's our cream. And then I've gotta add in our sugar. Just a little bit of sugar. Just a little bit of sugar. Not a lot of sugar. You know, lightly sweetened whipped cream. And then here we go with the mixer, all right? Because we need to make fresh whipped cream. Here we go. Oh, look at that. Until they're done. All right, and just like that, we've got fresh whipped cream that's ready to rock and roll, okay? But before we use our whipped cream, listen, I've got a little bit more turkey that's ready to come out of the oil. It's fried up perfectly, and it looks super, super, super delicious. Oh, look at that. That is chicken fried turkey if I have ever seen any myself, all right? Now, here's our waffles right on the bottom. And the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to put turkey right on top. I can take 2 of them, right? And then I've got some of this amazing sauce that I'm just going to put right on top of that. Okay? So you're getting the cranberry, you're getting your turkey, you're getting a little bit of cornbread. And let's go in for a little bit of taste of everything all together and see what we're working with. Oh boy, look at that. Super juicy. The waffle's super fluffy. Let me get in here and get a piece. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Without, that's all that. You hear the crunch? The crunch is great. That hot sauce kick sort of comes through. You got the cranberry action happening. This is a really, really, really fantastic. It's so good. Okay. Now, let's make the dessert because we have a few minutes left and I want to get through everything. So let me grab all the ingredients for our red velvet banana pudding. All right, everything's here. Everything. It's just a matter of assembling it all and putting it together. All right, first things first is I've got some French vanilla instant pudding that I'm going to drop in there. All right, and along with that pudding, I want to also drop in a little bit of cocoa powder as well. I'm going to use a fork because I can stir it better with a fork than a spoon. All right, so a little bit of cocoa powder. And this is the unsweetened cocoa powder that's going to go in there. All right, I'm going to add in a little bit of milk to this to help bring everything together. All right, about a cup or so. And you just got to get in here and work it around. All right, get everything stirred nicely. It takes just a second to stir everything in. I want to also toss in a little bit of red food coloring as we do that. Okay, let's stir, stir, stir. And as you can see, it really already starts to thicken up. And all of our chocolate starts to get incorporated. This is exactly what you want to see. All right, so we've essentially got ourselves a red velvet sort of pudding situation that's going to happen. All right, so the way we're going to make this into our custard for our banana pudding is really simple. Look at that. Okay, see, with a fork, you can really sort of get in here and get it real good. All right, that's perfect. All right, let's get a can opener because what I want to do now is just going to add in our sweetened condensed milk. Now remember, all these recipes are at DariusCooks.com. All right, so you'll be able to get everything from there. All right, here we go. I'm going to add in this. Oh, you gotta be careful. Let's get it all in the bowl. All right. And then remember some of that cream that we whipped up already? That cream is gonna also go right into here as well. All right. So we're gonna try to get in here and stir it really well and try not to deflate the air that we went ahead and whipped in. So we're gonna fold this in really carefully. All right. And really try to get it well incorporated. And let's see how far we get. So you just want to stir. Stir. Oh, yeah. Fold and stir. Fold and stir. And I'm using a rubber spatula to make everything happen. Just like that. All right, now to assemble this, I'm gonna keep stirring, but to assemble this, I've got bananas and I've got some of my favorite cookies. These are these Chessman butter cookies that are so good. Look at this. This is our red velvet custard for our banana pudding. Hello, have you ever seen something like that before in your entire life? I don't think so, because you can find it right here. Where? At DariusCooks.com. Check me out. Let's grab a banana or two. Look at that. And this is good. It's good now, and it's also great the longer this sits as well. All right. So in here, I'm just going to go ahead and chop up some bananas. Just like that. Okay. Then look, here's our custard that we did. It's all incorporated. Let me grab a spoon for that. A little bit of our custard right on top of there. Oh, yeah. Okay. Now I got these wonderful, amazing Chessman butter cookies that are going to be so good. I mean, you can certainly use your vanilla wafers if you like, but I happen to be a fan of these. So I'm just going to crumble these right on top, just like that. Right, so they can sort of stick down in there. And then a little bit more of the custard. Now remember, we have that amazing whipped cream that we whipped up. That's going to go right on top. Some of that. Hello. Okay. And I'm going to put a couple more cookies just for good measure. And I got to go in for a taste, peeps. All right. This is looking too good and it's calling my name too much not to go in for a taste. So let me go in for a taste of this red velvet banana pudding. Come on. Here we go. Let me tell you something. The chocolate, the vanilla, the banana, it's like a creamy red velvet cake all wrapped into one. It is so good. All right. Let's finish up.
Question.
Yeah, we got one more question. What's up?
What besides velvet goes well with banana pudding?
I mean, you really could do anything. Like, I'm a rebel, so you could do like a key lime banana pudding. That sounds good. A coconut cream banana pudding sounds good because coconut and bananas go oh so well together. So there's actually lots of things that you could put together. Let your imagination run wild, all right? Remember that green bean casserole bread pudding we cooked up? Hello. There you go. We got one ready to rock and roll, okay? Look at this. It's got the bacon and the croissants, and it's got that lovely, amazing, the onions on top. It's gonna be so good. And look at this. Don't forget, we got that mac and cheese pie, all right? Lobster and the bacon, okay? This is what we've got. Let me see if I can get in here and get me a little piece of this out. Oh boy. See what I can accomplish with this. Woo! Look at that. Look at that creaminess. Look at that. That is going to be so good. All right. Let me get a fork and taste a little bite of this. Sometimes you gotta just drop the fork and walk away. Oh my gosh. This is so good. It's creamy, it's savory, and that sour cream makes it super moist. Don't you hate when you get like macaroni and cheese? It's a little dry. This is not dry at all. This is moist and juicy, and we all know everybody likes something to be a little moist and a little juicy. You know what I'm saying? This is so good. And don't forget, we also knocked out that turkey, right? That chicken fried turkey. I'm gonna get another piece of this with the waffle, right? Super simple. That seasoning mix I made up. The seasoning mix, it has the hot sauce in it and some of the sazon. And the garlic, the buttermilk, so good. Fry it up, serve it up. The waffles, super easy. Nice and fluffy, very, very moist. You can totally do that. Don't forget our Kool-Aid Sangria. I gotta tell you, this is so, oh, you know, I didn't taste this. Let me taste this for you guys. Look how moist this is. Look how moist and amazing this is. The bacon and the croissants in that, so good. It's like what you're used to having with the casserole, but it just has a little bit more personality. All these recipes, you can find them all. They're going to be at DariusCooks.com. We've got our green bean, or our collard greens, and our smoked turkey pasta. We got our amazing green bean casserole with that bacon and the croissants. We got our lobster and bacon mac and cheese pie. We've got our chicken fried turkey and our waffles, cornbread waffles. We've got our red velvet banana pudding that is so good. And we also went ahead and made up what's left of our grape Kool-Aid Sangria. Listen, I am all out of time for the day. You guys have been absolutely amazing. Keep the conversation going, right? So I'm going to get online. If you guys have questions about anything, we can ask, we can have a dialogue, we can answer all those questions. The recipes are going to be at DariusCooks.com. Follow me, all right, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook at Darius Cooks. Two things I got to tell you, I always say it, all right? Food is my life. Life is my food. Until next time, I got to wish you happy cooking from my heart unto yours. Thank you, guys.